Hello and welcome back. I am making something for myself. I am Jenn the Crazy Crafter. And I use a hell of a lot of these napkins. And I struggle with where am I putting them. They're stacked. They fall over. So I decided I'm making myself a napkin holder. I got this mold in... right, I think it was on the January 2nd or 3rd, and it's been sitting on my dresser over there, and it's been talking to me. I come down here to take a rest, or I come down here to play, maybe watch some videos, basically to get away from the dogs for a little bit. And every time I sit down, this thing is speaking to me. Jenn, 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 when are you going to make me? Come on, when are you going to pour me? So here we are. This is going to be a beachy theme. It's going to be poured in multiple pours. Basically, I'm going to pour a thin layer. It's not going to be very deep, of like a bluish. And I'm going to do a little bit of white. Try to drop it in there and try to get some foamy water type effect. Then I'm going to have a layer of seashells. Then this whole base here is going to be sand. So let's mix up some resin and see how this goes. I'm going to hand mix. Just going to use one of these cups because I only need about 2 or 3 ounces. That's it for the first pour. And I'm not popping this in the debubbler. It's supposed to be a beachy scene. If I end up with a few bubbles, I'm not going to fret about it. Oh, I need to move my coffee, don't I? So, I was going to go with a white, low viscosity alcohol ink. That wasn't a sinker white. And I thought, you know what? It's probably going to lose that color in the blue. So I am going with ocean white, but very light. I'm going with a pigment paste. And what I'm going to do here is I am going to just use this just like that. And let me get another... Oh, I almost knocked over my whole thing of stuff. This. I am so clumsy. I went to reach for a regular wooden stick, and I almost knocked that over. Oh, you would have heard a bang. Yeah. Anyhow, I'm going to go ahead and get some white pigment paste in this. And because this isn't very much, I don't need a whole lot of white. It's probably all that I need. And that might even be too much. Well, let's see. Let's see what we get. And I will let this sit and degas a little bit. Oh, yeah, that's plenty. Like, probably too much white. I may not use all this. Okay, we're going to let that sit. I do want to make sure that all the pigment paste is mixed in this. It's not a whole lot of resin, but at the same time, I still don't want any unmixed pigment paste in there. And I'm just going to go ahead and wipe off my stick to make sure there's no pigment paste on it. Okay, now for the rest of this, I am going to just start dropping some alcohol ink in it. I want this kind of opaque, not opaque, translucent, with some color. Yeah, I'm going crazy. I just dropped a whole bunch. Oh, another little tip for ya. Don't be squeezing the bottle when you are sticking your pen through to open it up. Ask me how I know. I had this blue, it just splattered everywhere. If it was red, you would think it was a crime scene. Not quite enough color for me. I know it's going to be kind of deep. I kind of get an idea of what it should look like. But I want a little tiny, itty bitty bit darker. And this is hard to squeeze. I don't even think it's fully open. Okay, note to self. Note to self. Don't squeeze the bottle. There we go. Yeah, it's squirting everywhere. That what you saw right there, it's what it did it all over my table. And I think this should do it. I don't think I need any more alcohol ink than that. I think this is going to be good. And I guaranteed I'm going to have some extra. But what do I want to pour the extra in? I don't know. But let's see.
Napkins flying all over the kitchen again. Coffee on the counter, here we go, my friend. Got a mold on the table, resin board just right. Making something useful on a late night grind. Got the ocean on my mind, blue swirling slow. Sand from the shore where the wild winds blow. This one's not for selling, this one's just for me. A little piece poured in epoxy. I don't need perfection, I just need truth. A steady hand and a little faith too. Water and foam, seashells and sand. Every pore feels guided by God's own hand. Holding things together so they don't blow away. Like the little things in life I'm learning to save. Yeah, it's more than a napkin holder on the stand. It's a seascape poured slow, hearted hands. Vodka in the cup, watch the colors dance. Blue turns to turquoise if you give it a chance. Let it sit, let it thicken, don't rush the tide. Same way I learned how to survive. Storms come quick, bubbles rise. You learn real fast what floats, what dies. But the calm comes back if you let it be. And just like the waves keep coming to me, I've learned control is an illusion anyway.
Okay, so I decided to go ahead and run this through my debubbler, and the verdict's in. The verdict is in. Now because it's a bit deeper, you run it like 2 or 3 ounces through. 5 minutes is done. It was closer to 10 minutes, but there's a 40-minute working time with this resin, right? Well, it came out so clear, very clear. There's a few surface bubbles, but not many. So this machine from Let's Resin works a lot better than my other machine. My other machine's got to get shelved in a back room as a backup if my Let's Resin takes a shit. But if my Let's Resin one takes a shit, I'm calling Let's Resin first. Anyhow, what I'm going to do is, I'm not pouring shell into this cup. I'll clean this cup out when I'm done and reuse it. In this cup here, I am going to spoon my shell in. I'm going to spoon some shell in and then pour a little bit of resin on. I just want to coat the shells. Then I'm going to put them down in my mold. Okay. This is a kit that I got off of Amazon. And there's shells, there's rocks. I'm not putting any of the starfish in, I don't think. And I got plenty of resin here.
Jenn, a crazy crafter, coffee in her hand, pouring out the resin like a queen of a wonderland. Glitter on the table, mic is in the air, golden sparkle magic, yeah, she's crafting everywhere. Resin flow, watch it glow, casting memories we know. Jewelry, keychains, trays in line, sparkle and shine, it's resin time. Fresh brewed fuel keeps the energy high. Mix a little pigment, watch the colors fly. Layer after layer, it's a work of art. Every pore's a story, straight from the heart. Swirl it, spin it, pour that drink. Every little double's got a secret gleam. From coffee to canvas, she's in her zone. Crazy crafter resin, making magic her own.
Okay. Still warm. Hasn't fully cooled off. Just barely soft. When it cools off, it would probably be fully hard. 2 hours in the G3. There are bumps. There are shells sticking up, but that's okay. Because we're now going to go through and do the sand. I did not put my resin through the debubbler this time because it's going to get bubbles from the sand anyhow. And I'm using my old resin. This is one of them cases where I just wanted to use it up. When I'm going to have super pigmented stuff, especially stuff for myself, I would assume use my old yellowed resin. It still cures, it still works, it's just off color. So, and what I'm going to do is, I'm going to make a sand soup. Okay? I am going to put my sand in here and pour, just like I did with the shells. And pour the resin into the sand. This sand is from when I went on vacation. This was Ocean City, Maryland sand. Okay. I think that's enough sand. We will soon find out. So I'm not even going to use a 30-second stir stick. Okay. So I'm going to pour my resin in and mix the sand up. And I'll put you on a fast forward through the rest of this.
Coffee cup ready, scissors in the air, glue on my fingers, but I don't care. Jenn the crazy crafter, running on steam, caffeine and glitter, the ultimate dream. Fueled by coffee, crafting all night. One more sip and the world feels right. Paper, resin, sparkly spree. Every day's better with a cup for me. Mugs in the press, vinyl on the floor, resin in the mold. Do I need more? Sipping my go juice, singing this song with coffee in hand. I can craft all day long. Oops, poured cream in the paint again. Ooh, stirring resin with my coffee.
Okay, it is demolding time. It is a couple days later because life got busy. But some things have already been demolded. Like this is that paw. I'm going to finish it up with probably doing some painting. I'm going to put a coat of UV resin on the back here, because it is a little bit bumpy. I'll probably sand it down and coat a UV resin because there's some shells that are sticking up. But I think that turned out pretty. This is its mate. The white that I tried to marble in, it sunk. It sunk, but I'm okay with that. I don't even know if that needs painting or not. I'm undecided. This is a handmade mold of a flower that I made this mold a long time ago out of the putty type of silicone. And it's not perfect. It's very thin in places. But this is the flower. And of course, my traditional, that mold that I had that I poured extras in. Several, they're all the same. Several little tiny paws and cat faces and a little larger paw. There's several of these. These are probably going to go into my bin of extras or my bag. I dug these out. A lot of charms and stuff in it that I might be able to incorporate. But for right now, this is going to go in my bin, my cup of extras. I have right here. There's some more that has to go in, but along with this flower mold. This is another one. I'm not going to do anything with those right yet. I'm thinking I'm going to use those as parts of other projects. Now, you saw me pouring the ugly tray. It's not getting demolded yet because, as you can see, there's plenty of room in that tray yet. But it's definitely an ugly tray. And I'm probably, when it does get demolded, do some Cricut lettering or something, calling it the ugly tray. This key, you saw me pour that, I believe. When I was trying to clean the mold, it came out. This is one of those molds that I actually purchased off of, I think it was off of Etsy. I can't remember. But another one of them things that would be an inclusion in something. Then I've got these extras here too. Some of these you're just going to get flat back bales on. Puzzle piece, great for, and needs a little bit of trim and sanding. I'm probably going to do a whole separate video on some of these pieces that need finished. Just a finishing video. These I am going to use as blanks. I have a theory, I have a thought. Either Cricut vinyl decals or stamping, roughing up the surface a little bit, using Stays On ink and using my stamps sets. There are a lot. I had so much extra. And again, some trimming and some sanding. I didn't want these that thick. So there is a ridge, and I got a hair on me. There we go. Still another one. I hope it's not in the resin. But there's ridges on here. They need sanded, cleaned up. But these I was going to use as blanks to put a design on. Teardrop for pendants. I wish I had a second one of these molds, because some of these that could be earrings, you have to pour 2 of them and try matching the color. Right? This one is meant to wrap something around. I may put some little tiny flowers or something on there. But these are meant to be blanks. Okay. The other extra, butterfly. This one I will bling up. It's fun blinging up the butterflies. Okay. A little bit of trimming that needs to be done. No big deal. I'm not a fan. I had to find something to do with that. White synced into this. Obviously right there. Maybe I could get a paint pen and do something identical down here. I don't know. But definitely needs some trimming. Sanding the rough edges. Some blinging. Now this is one of them molds that I thought, you know, when I have a couple drops of something, I'll put it in here. Well, that plan went out the window when I ended up doing a whole entire pyramid with extra resin. I've made a lot of these pyramids before. Several of these small little ones. And it's borderline deep pour, but I think it's thin enough to work with. The dogs are gonna go crazy because somebody's
Motion detected at front door.
Mailman. But it's I think it's thin enough. It does work with epoxy resin. I've never used deep pour. I've never owned deep pour resin before. You know, it's just like, just this year, well, 2025, when I got back into resin, did I learn about needing deep pour for certain molds. But I don't remember it being this difficult to demold. Oh, there we go. It popped out. Definitely need some trimming. And there are no shells sticking out anywhere. It's all smooth. Check this out. I love it. I love it. Nice little paperweight. That is pretty. Couple little bubbles here on this edge. UV resin time, one over here. And the bubbles are they're all in the shell layer. So I'm not surprised. Just put a little bit of UV resin on that, sand it down. We're good. Now for the main event. Okay. Definitely still going to need some trimming. This is a pretty stiff silicone, so I don't know how much trouble I'm going to have getting this out. We're about to find out. Like I said, this is for me. This might not be the easiest to get out. I hope I didn't just rip my mold. No, I didn't. But I could tell there aren't any shells not covered in resin. It's just, it's bumpy. It's textured. I was hoping would stay on top to make it look like waves. Let me get my mold turned right side out again. So I'm probably going to do something with these here. I'm definitely going to bling this. And I'm looking very closely. I'm not seeing bubbles. I'm surprised. I'm not seeing any bubbles. There's one bubble right there. UV resin. One bubble. And inside is very smooth. What do you think? I don't know what happened here. It has something to do with the alcohol or the white ink. I don't know how it got all the way there. No idea. But it did kind of cloud up some of my blue. But hey, it's foam, right? And you can see where it's sunk into the scallops. But overall, I mean, this is not a piece I'm selling. I'm pretty happy with it. And hold on. I was making this for me, right? Because I go through a lot of napkins. This might be too, oh no. Maybe too many napkins in there. There we go. These are Bounty brand napkins. A little shallow. It is a little shallow. I don't know if it's supposed to go like this for smaller napkins. Take a few more out. Yeah, I would prefer it to be a little bit deeper, to be honest. It's almost like you have to fold your napkins like this. That's my only issue with this mold. I think this needed to be a little bit deeper down. The scallops go a little bit further down. Because really, you have to fold your napkins from them to sit in there correctly. So, with that said, let's go ahead and, you know what, let's go ahead and get some blinging up of a couple of these things. And then I'll come back with a finished bling and we'll get some final pictures.
Kitchen again, coffee on the counter, here we go my friend, got a mold on the table, resin board just right, making something useful on a late night grind, got the ocean on my mind, blue swirling slow, sand from the shore where the wild winds blow, this one's not for selling, this one's just for me. A little piece poured in epoxy. I don't need perfection, I just need truth. A steady hand and a little faith too. Water and foam, seashells and sand. Every pore feels guided by God's own hand. Holding things together so they don't blow away. Like the little things in life I'm learning to save. Yeah, it's more than a napkin holder on the stand. It's a seascape poured slow, hearted hands. Vodka in the cup, watch the colors dance. Blue turns to turquoise if you give it a chance. Let it sit, let it thicken, don't rush the tide. Same way I learned how to survive. Storms come quick, bubbles rise. You learn real fast what floats, what dies. But the calm comes back if you let it be. And just like the waves keep coming to me, I've learned control is an illusion anyway. You pour, you trust, and step out of the way. Water and foam, seashells and sand.
Okay, so I am done. I am done. I didn't do anything with the other pendants. They're just going to go flat back pearls. Okay, and then I have my blanks for whenever I decide to do something with them. I did nothing with the pyramid. Woo! Yeah, don't want to drop it. My other extras, just a little bit of paint into the paws. On this one, I did a little bit of white. Did a blue on this one. Then I did some research and discovered, you know, something I could do with all the liquid pearls that I have. These are by Ranger. I have a few colors. I have several of the pearl white. because I use a lot of white when it comes to pearls. I already tested it. I've got a greenish color here, and I've got a baby blue as well. I used to use these in scrapbooking. I don't have much as far as flatback pearls are concerned, but this works. I just got to get used to squeezing it. I think this one's almost getting clogged, but these are still wet. I used the flatback pearls on the butterfly for the body and putting like they turn out like faux pearls. Okay, they look like pearls, but they're liquid pearls. This is still wet. I gotta be careful how I handle it. I did the paint, these bumps, and outlining these leaf-like things. This down here was actually liquid pearls. Instead of dots for like pearls, I did a line and kind of took my dotting tool, the silicone side, and kind of swirled it on both sides to make it look like water. So now these got to dry, but those are my projects. Took me a few days because let's face it, life goes on. So now just stay tuned for some photos. And I do thank you for watching. I thank everybody who has recently subscribed. It means a great deal to me. I hope you enjoy my videos. I hope to get more consistent. All right. Love you all, and stay tuned for those photos.
Jenn, a crazy crafter, coffee in her hand, pouring out the resin like a queen of a wonderland. Glitter on the table, mic is in the air, gold and sparkle magic, yeah, she's crafting everywhere. Resin flow, watch it glow. Casting memories we know. Jewelry, keychains, trays in line. Sparkle and shine, it's resin time.